Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on Friday, the 24th of February. As always, we bring you local and international news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Ashwin Berry. In the news tonight, the First Lady of the United States of America, Dr. Jill Biden, commended Namibia on the progress made with gender equality, green energy, and slowing the spread of HIV. This was during a youth empowerment and democracy event held at the Namibia University of Science and Technology. She further stated that the youth are the keepers of democracy, and when they decide to shape the nation into the place that they know it can be, they inspire others to do the same. You show the world that change can happen and that young people can make it happen, said Biden. Albie Botha, CEO of Namibia Media Holdings, launched the Tourism Expo 2023 this morning, together with the Minister of Environment and Tourism Board of Namibia. The theme for this year's expo is Beyond Borders. Yolanda Nell was there.
Without your support and understanding of what we're trying to achieve in promoting tourism in this country, this event would never be able to happen. And your never-ending is the right word, support to this expo, I can't thank you enough. So thank you for making time this morning once again to be here. Tourism Expo 2023 is a new world, a new dawn that has engaged in how we understand tourism going forward. In 2019, we started the process of understanding that the end of our previous campaign, ecotourism, ended, and we came up with a concept called 20 Degrees South, and that's really promoting tourism not just as a destination in Namibia, but in the SADC region. Planes do not just land in one country. Tourists do not just visit a geographical area that was created in 1885 by some colonial power or six of them. Tourism is where people celebrate a certain region, a certain area. And it's important that we celebrate that in our engagement as well. So our focus going forward for the tourism is, was hijacked a bit, I must just go back, but was hijacked a bit with COVID. In 2020, I think the only expo taking place in the entire world was the one that we had in November that year. It was very interesting, really enjoyed it. In 2021, when COVID really got bad, our total commitment was working with the Republic of Namibia with the entire vaccination program. And we're very proud of being part of that process to make sure that we promote vaccination. And I think it was extremely successful.
Earlier today, the Erongo Regional Governor Neville Andre announced that negotiations between all parties resulted in the re-employment of 11 former employees at Metal Mill, increasing its headcount to 31. Metal Mill provides engineering and maintenance services through a long-term agreement with Andrada's US mine. The appointment of Metal Mills aligns with Andrada's focus to develop local as well as national small and medium enterprises in Namibia. Andre said that his office intervened on January 2023 in the interest of promoting sustainable employment and improved labor relations in the Erongo region, and to find an optimal solution going forward. As part of the mediation process, Andrada agreed to absorb an additional 10 of the former employees into available vacancies in its engineering department, resulting in 21 of the former employees being reinstated between the two companies. Andrada has further committed to prioritizing the balance of the former employees for an additional 16 non-artisanal jobs at the US mine to be available as of March 2023. A murder case against Conrad Kuni Strydom, who was arrested for killing his wife Angela Strydom in 2021, was struck off the roll in the Walvis Bay Magistrates Court. Magistrate John Sindano withdrew the matter against Strydom on Thursday. According to the public prosecutor, Anakleta Kalmet, the court previously indicated that there is a forensic analysis that is still outstanding. We have received communication that they will be done with it in 10 days, said Kanjimelt. Now, the The state wanted to remand the case to 31 May for the pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. Last year, the case appeared in December and was, however, remanded for a final time for the PGD to be concluded. We received a letter from Advocate Verhoef, who is handling the matter, and that it was on that basis that we agreed on bail. Stradum's lawyer, Evert Krause, said that his client came to court in 2021, and now we have another postponement for another 4 months. On 31 October 2021, this court stated that this case will soon form part of the backlog, which has been on the court roll for more than 1 year. The proceedings were adjourned for final investigations and PGD, and failing will result in the matter being removed from the roll. House added that the accused resides in Mariento. He reports himself and travels to Walvish Bay just to come here, that we need another postponement for investigations. This is totally unacceptable. I live in Windhoek, and 16 months down the line, the investigations were still not finalized. This is not reasonable. He was in custody for 10 months. It is not acceptable, and I addressed the court on previous occasions. This cannot be the way forward. Another postponement for another 4 months. I object to a further postponement. Referring to the court ruling on 31 October 2021, he said, adding that according to the Namibian constitution, a trial is to take place within a reasonable time, failing to which the result in the accused will be released. Now, residents of Okahanja are up in arms over what they deem as poor service delivery. In tonight's story of the day, community mobilizer Beres Steenkamp reads out a petition to the CEO of the Okahanja municipality, Alphonse Shitombo. Community members are up in arms over what they deem as poor service delivery at the Garden Town. Residents are demonstrating in front of the town's municipal building, whereas the Deputy Minister for Urban and Rural Development, Natalia Hwahosis, today asked residents of Okahanja time to allow the municipality to attend to their grievances.
If you take a walk in the streets of our town, you will see plastic bags that are being torn by the dogs. Bins are overflowing everywhere. It keeps worse and worse, and the residents of Okahanja are fed up and will dump their trash anywhere they like from now on. Amen? Yes. The town is in a state of unnatural hygienic state. We have over 10 drains that are overflowing in Feathersdal, and one can only imagine the smell in the air. Our environment has become a breeding ground for bacteria and diseases. Dis hoe leef ons in Okahanja. Our town is expanding daily, and the infrastructure is not able to cater for the current residents. The irony is, growth means higher income for the town. The state of affairs does not point to that fact.
Our core mandate as councillors elected, as administrators appointed in the local authorities, the core mandate is to deliver service to the residents. And that is what is happening in most of our local authorities. Of course, we are mindful of the challenges of the resources, but that does not stop us from delivering services. And therefore, if the services that we are delivering is not satisfying you, the residents, I think you have got the right to demand. Yes. Listen carefully to the 5 demands that you are putting through to us. And these demands, I think can be attended to.
Thank you.
Yes. It can be attended to. Just give the council the enough time, because they need to sit down and work through critically on those issues that you are asking them to attend to.
Finance Minister Ipumbu Shimi tabled the largest budget ever tabled by the Ministry of Finance. More on this in economic news after the break.
My.NA Property Show provides viewers with the best in-class content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest property-related products and services. If you would like to feature your brand or your campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Properties, more than just a roof over your head.
Heading into economic news, 84.6 billion Namibian dollar budget for the financial year 2023-2024 was recently tabled by Finance Minister Ipumbu Shimi and is the largest budget ever tabled by the Ministry of Finance, according to IJG Securities. The projected expenditure for the current financial period, FY 2022-2023, was revised upwards to 74.88 billion Namibian dollars. Shimi on Wednesday announced an increase in the old age disability and orphan and vulnerable children grants by 100 Namibian dollars per month, effective from 1 April 2023. In addition, the disability grant for beneficiaries under the age of 18 has been increased from 250 Namibian dollars to 1,400 Namibian dollars per month. Let's have a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar is up next to all these major currencies, trading at 18.39 next to the US dollar. Looking at commodities, gold, copper and zinc all made downturns of 0.39, 2.28 and 0.93% respectively, whilst Brent crude oil had an uptick of 0.57%. The Israeli military has carried out airstrikes in the Gaza Strip after Palestinian militants in the territory fired rockets at southern Israel. More on this in international news after the break.
Sport Wrap is a daily show focusing on all sport news and current affairs. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact sportwrap at synergy.com.na.
Heading into international news, the Israeli military has carried out airstrikes in the Gaza Strip after Palestinian militants in the territory fired rockets at southern Israel. 6 rockets were launched from Gaza at dawn, 5 of which were intercepted, the military said. Shortly afterwards, Israeli warplanes hit what it identified as 2 Hamas militant sites. No one is reported to have been hurt. Now, the exchange follows an Israeli raid in Nablus in the occupied West Bank on Wednesday, which killed 11 Palestinians. Both Hamas, which controls Gaza, and another militant group, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, had issued threats of retaliations. UN Middle East envoy Tor Wennesland, who is attempting to de-escalate the situation, traveled to Gaza on Thursday to meet Hamas leaders, according to Reuters news agency. "I am deeply disturbed by the continuing cycle of violence and appalled by the loss of civilian lives," he said before the reported trip. "I urge all sides to refrain from steps that could further inflame an already volatile situation." No militant group has so far said it was behind Thursday's rocket launches, which caused sirens to sound in southern Israeli cities and towns near Gaza, including Ashkelon and Sderot. Now, those were small explosions in the sky, and as most were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome defense system, according to the Israeli military. One rocket fell into an open area. The military said 2 hours later that its fighter jets struck a weapons manufacturing site and a military compound belonging to Hamas in central and northern Gaza in response. Stay with Sunset News as we head into the weather shortly.
Straight Talk is a debate competition for high school learners and a spelling competition for primary school learners, mostly focusing on current affairs among the youth. Contact Zone at synergy.com.na to share your products and services. Straight Talk. Don't raise your voice, improve your argument.
This is still Sunset News. Let's have a look at the weather predictions. Windhoek is sunny and so is Gotv with minimums of 18 degrees expected, whilst Oshakati is partly cloudy, but hotter with a 37-degree maximum. Speaking of hot maximums, Mariento is the hottest in the country with a 39-degree maximum, whilst Henties Bay and Swakopmund as well as Wafish Bay are all partly cloudy. Now let's have a look at Sunday's weather predictions. Windhoek, the capital, is expecting some thunderstorms, however with a little bit of sun peeking in at a 32-degree maximum, whilst Gotv is expecting thunderstorms and Oshakati is partly cloudy. Mariento remains the hottest in the country with a 38-degree maximum, whilst Aranos, Luderis, Ariansvlei, Oranjemund and Kitmanshoop are all partly cloudy. Stay with Sunset News as we head into the sports section shortly.
Chill Sessions is an entertainment show that brings you the latest hit, fashion, and entertainment news. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact Chill at synergy.com.na. Chill Sessions, bringing art and entertainment to the people.
You are still with Sunset News. Heading into the sports updates. The Namibian Swimming Federation's National Long Course Championship, sponsored by Bank Windhoek, kicked off on Thursday and will continue until Sunday, featuring a first for the competition as 4 Paralympic swimmers are set to compete in the competition. The event, held at the Olympia Municipal Swimming Pool, will see 184 athletes from 6 swimming clubs as well as from the International Paralympic Committee participating as 1,628 entries. The Namibian cricket team, the Richelieu Eagles, are set to conclude their current tour on Saturday morning when they take on the United Arab Emirates in a one-day international in Dubai. Having lost all 4 of their matches in Nepal during the first part of their tour, the Namibians are desperate to add some winning points in their 36th and final match of the World Cup League 2 series, which will determine their path towards qualification for the World Cup in India later this year. In football, the men's teams in the Deb Marine Namibia Premier League will take a break while the FNB Women's Super League takes center stage with 5 matches on Saturday and another 5 on Sunday. The early log leaders after round 1 Tura Magic will have an off weekend, while second placed BT's FC will be tested by Nust Babes on Saturday morning before Sunday morning's clash against V-Power Angels, who also got their first round started with a big win. Stay with us as we head into the highlights shortly.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact tourismus@synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bring the world to Namibia.
Namibia's hospitality is as vibrant as its people. Join the What's Cooking team as they travel the country cooking, chatting, and celebrating local personalities and the joy of food. If you think you have a standout offering, whether it's a restaurant, bar, pop-up event, or braai stand, get in touch with the What's Cooking team at cooking@synergy.com.na and we will be there to show the world what's cooking. Programs air every Friday at 4 p.m. on all the NMH Facebook platforms, as well as on NTV, Dstv channel 285, and Gotv channel 94 at 9 p.m. Heading into the highlights from this evening's broadcast, the Erongo Regional Governor Neville Andre today announced that negotiations between all parties resulted in the re-employment of 11 former employees at Metal Mill, increasing its headcount to 31. A murder case against Conrad Connie Strydom, who was arrested for killing his wife Angela Strydom in 2021, was struck off the roll in the Walvis Bay Magistrates Court. And the Namibian cricket team, the Richelieu Eagles, are set to conclude their current tour on Saturday morning when they take on the United Arab Emirates in a one-day international in Dubai. And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms, as well as on our website, Oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 94 every weekday and Sunday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. This has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.